Shalom. Call Halal Yahweh by Shema Shah, which means all praises to Yahweh, which is the true name of the Heavenly Father who you people in the world we call God, by Hashem in the name of Yahweh Shah, which is the name of the only begotten Son who you people in the world we call Jesus Christ. Once again, the true names of the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son is Yahweh by Shema Shah. Shalom also to you brothers, you Akim that's pushing and spreading His word throughout the four corners of the earth, who's also uplifting the names Yahweh by Shema Shah. Shalom to you Akim once again. Shalom also to the Israelite foreigners, the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, whose bloodline traces back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers, though you may look like the heathen nations and scattered amongst, which the heathen nations that you see on this chart are the nations starting from 2 on down. Those are the heathen nations. Also, if your bloodline, your lineage, goes back to these people, as you see on this chart through the man, and if it's spirit bear witness with this word, the truth, you can receive it to the speckled bird, man, woman, and child, this does apply to you. You are Israelites, though you do look like the heathen, you're scattered amongst due to the scattering of these people in this chart. So once again, you will have Israelites come looking like the other nations, but they're indeed Israelites because they're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, the 15th verse on down. Their spirit bear witness with his word, that they are the sons and daughters of Yahweh Shema Shah, and most importantly, their line, their lineage goes back to these people through the man, no matter what they come looking like. If their father's an Israelite, that makes them an Israelite as well. To the few Akwaf that do listen, learn, believe, and have respect towards your husband, shalom to you as well. To you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you could bond, consist to make up the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, who the world only calls JC, Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah. All right, so we're going to get to the point.
You treat me like a black person, gonna get sprayed. This hurts! Stop, this hurts! This hurts! Stop, this hurts! We got somebody come take care of. My children are not going to any facility. No problem. How many you have? How many is it? I have 4 children here. Okay. Every single one of you. But this is what they do to us. They kick me off the plane. They call me a fucking terrorist. And they want to fucking ruin my life. Sir, please calm down. I was just dropping down earlier.
Kick these people off the plane because they support President Trump. And you got all these fuck standing around doing nothing. 30 cops over here. Rest of them going everywhere. All these police everywhere. Because they were waiting for these people to get put off the plane because they support President Trump.
The feds have been busy rounding up people who allegedly took part in the Capitol siege and putting them on the no-fly list pending an investigation. Trump supporters are not having any of it. If you like content like this, be sure to hit.
All right, so you saw the video. All right, so you heard what he said. Basically, right when the storming of the Capitol took place, what happened was these people, they tried to after they left the Capitol, because you had people coming over, from, I believe you even had Canadians a part of that, but you had a lot of people come from all over the country, all right, to go to that protest, or what they would call that the terroristic attack. But as soon as they got off the plane, the cops, he said cops was already waiting there for them. They put a no-fly zone for those people that went. All right, they was coming from that rally, and you saw, and what do you notice? Okay, and all those videos you just saw, that all of them were Edomites. Not only were Edomites, but they were all crying and playing the victim role. All right, and really, we're gonna start off with this. This is Genesis, the 4th chapter. All right, going back to Cain, because it goes back to their forefather Cain, man. All right, this is Genesis 4:1. It says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground offering unto the Lord, and Abel he also brought of the firstling of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai respect unto Abel and to his offering. So he rejected Cain's, man. All right, we're just gonna go into it, but it says, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. He was pissed off. And the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door. And we know what? The wages of sin is death, man. All right? Sin leads to bad things. And that's what he was telling Cain. If you'd have had done it the right way, as I have told you, all right, you wouldn't have this problem, basically. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. So he killed Abel, was in the spirit. All right, Abel represents us, and Cain was these Edomites, man. You see? And it says, and the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. So the Lord already knew that Cain was lying. You see? He just wanted to see what he was going to do. What did he do? He sat literally right there and sat in the Lord's face and lied. Played like he didn't know what happened to Abel, knowing he just killed him. You see? This is the same spirit in these Edomites. All right? You talk about slavery. You talk about, the things they've done, the horrible, terrible things they've done. All right? And they can't handle it. You see? They'll try to deflect. They'll try to put you in the spotlight. All right? Or they'll try to play it off like they don't know what you're talking about. But it says, and now thou cursed from the earth. And we know what that curse was, man. We believe it was that leprosy, man, which had opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And he's also cursed the judgment. You see? But it says, when thou tillest the ground, shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. All right, and this is why they create GMO food, because that's one of the things that befell Cain was Esau is Cain, man. All right, that's why they try to, when they farm, it doesn't produce as good as it's supposed to, because that's what was put on them by right here. You see, this is why you have genetically modified organisms. You see, 3D meat. It says, a fugitive and a vagabond shall I be in the earth. All right. And what did the dude say in the video? They try to treat me like they treat me like a. Well, let me just go back. All right, we're gonna go back. I think I went back too far.
They called me a fucking terrorist.
Yep, they called me a terrorist. That's what he said, right? Well, the scriptures call you Edomites a terrorist, because that's really what you are, man. All right, the word for fugitive is nuwa. I'm just gonna get to the point. It says, continue the fugitive, make to go up and down, be gone away. A vagabond wander up and down. All right. I want get the actual definitions. We know, all right, what fugitive is, but you really want to see the deeper meaning of these words. All right. So let's get fugitive. So the word for fugitive, it says, of course, one who flees, a runaway, a fugitive from justice, an outlaw. All right. Commonly also used as a noun meaning a runaway, a fugitive, a slave. Because Esau really, all right, he's a slave, man. All right. They're going to their judgment to come that we coming into. All right. It's a slavery, man. 1,000 years of slavery, then annihilation, man. All right. And they've been running from it. They've been running, okay, from the identity of Esau, Edom. All right. They labeled themselves white, which we're going to get into that. All right. But going back, it says, and Cain said, the 13th verse, it says, and Cain said unto the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, my punishment is greater than I can bear. And that's what they're doing right now. They crying and, that's too much. So this is not right. That punishment is too painful for them to bear, man. All right? They can't handle, something like that. They can't handle being looked at as negative. You've always been, let's get that. Because you've always been, let me just get it. You've always been looked at as these noble, generous, kind, innocent people, man. All right? But really, all right, what you seen happen at that Capitol, whether it was set up or not, it doesn't matter. The picture was still put out there. All right? East, that's how they really act. That's really what they are, man. Okay? They not this kind, noble people. They're monsters, man. They're the children of Satan. All right? That's what they are. They're the wicked, according to the scriptures. So I'm not surprised through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemashah, what took place, man. All right? The scriptures already got this devil, mapped out, man. All right, his characteristics, what he would do, how he would do things. I just had it. I don't know what happened, so I'm going to type it back in. All right, 2 Corinthians 11, which I typed that in, so I don't know what. Hold on. So I kept typing 2 in. All right, this is second. All right, 2 Corinthians 11, okay? And 13 it says, for such are false apostles. Now, this is going into a certain of our people, but this is Esau, man. Deceitful workers, because Esau is a deceitful worker, man. All right? Deceit is in his ways, transforming themselves into the apostles of Yahweh Shah Mashiach. And that's why when you think, before the word of Yahweh Shah came out, everybody, what did everybody think who the world calls Jesus Christ looked like? He thought he was a so-called white man. All right? And you'll find out that he's a so-called black man. But who did that? Who transformed themselves into the apostles of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, man? I'm not even going to say Christ, because that just means anointed, man. All right? Esau did that, man. All right? The angels are white. If they're not white, they just really just said they're white. Told you that the aliens, that there's aliens, which they're the angels, The apostles, they were white. King David, everybody was white. All right? Everybody was good, so-called, was white. It says, and no marvel, for Satan, which you are the children of Satan, which Satan means the adversary himself, is transformed into an angel of light. And this is what they've been doing, all right, and playing like, on the planet Earth, man. They've been playing like they were the children of light, man. An angel, man. Like they're the good guys. Every time you watch a movie, all right, one of these Hollywood movies, what do you know? Is Esau's always the good guy, all right? And and everybody else is the bad guy. He's always that savior, man. Superman, for instance. All right. Clearly in the scriptures, it says that the men of the Lord, we would have powers like Superman. But what did Esau do? He put his face as if he's going to get that power, man. Your power is a sword. Your power is not the power that Yahweh Shema Shah is going to give his men. All right. But this is what you do. So the word light is false. It says the light emitted by a lamp. Let me see. You look right here, it says of truth and his knowledge together with the spiritual purity associated with it. All right. And really, when you look up white, it means purified, man. That's why they put that on them, because they believe they're the pure ones. All right. The power of understanding moral and spiritual truth, which Esau is not spiritual. All right. But we got what we got out of this. All right. That's what they've been portrayed as, the angel of light. They've been portrayed as the good people on the planet Earth. And what they've done is they've made the world believe you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those of our people that's going to look like the other nations, but they're Israelites. He's made you look like the scum of the earth. He's made you look like the dark. All right? That's what black means. It means void of light. Okay? Wicked, evil. That's what they've done. They're the real black people, if you really think about it. All right? But now that's over with, man. We in that time where the Lord, he's what? Let me get that. I get this a lot. This is Jeremiah 49. Actually, you know what? Obadiah. This is Obadiah. All right. Obadiah 1:1. This says the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. All right. We have heard a rumor from the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, and the ambassadors sent among the heathen arise ye and let us rise up against them in battle. That's these other nations. And the Lord's putting the spirit on them to do so. Because they getting ready to come down on this place, man. This is the perfect time for these heathens to strike, these other nations to strike, because you're divided right now. All right, the people are bugged out, confused, people out of work, you know, people are drunk, going crazy, all this madness, man. So this is the perfect time for them to strike, and the Lord's gonna do however He please. This says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen; thou art greatly despised." All right, nobody wants to come to America anymore. If they are in America, they want to get the hell out of America. All right, because of all the draconian laws, you know, that they put in place, the mindset and the way people act here. Okay, the women is destroyed, you know, children out of order, you know, the economy's through here. You see, the dollar's through. So these heathen are despising you Edomites in this place, man. Okay, and you're being despised, okay, amongst your own people. All right, them cops, them Edomite cops. All right, usually they will be catering to these people's feelings. You know, they would have each other's back. But if you look in the video, let me play it back.
And they want to fucking ruin my life. Sir, please calm down. I was just talking earlier.
Get these people off the plane.
See, these other Edomites in the suits, but behind the badge, you know, they ain't paying them attention. They ain't falling for the tears, man. You see, this just shows you it's over, man. All right? And this is the Trump supporters, but real soon, it's going to be all you. It's going to be you Edomites as a whole nation. It's already you Edomites as a whole nation, but I'm just speaking. All right? Vice versa. But it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the cluster of rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? You Edomites were proud, man. All right? You believe it, you just going to be the number one guy forever, man. And now your pride deceived you. Now you're being brought low. It's going to say that. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, then shall I bring thee down, said the Lord, man. And that's what the Lord's doing. He's bringing you down. All right? And it's starting, what? With your image. Okay, let me get that. Despise thy image. Well, actually, hold on. I passed it. All right, this is Psalm 73 and 19 says, how they brought to desolation as in a moment. They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise the image. Your image is being despised, man. You're not white, you're red. All right? All your forefathers, you know how we learn in these school, the food systems, you know, all the accomplishment of their forefathers, they're being found to be witches, you know, warlocks. They had slaves. All right? They raped, robbed, and murdered through deceit. That's what's being found out, man. Your image is being despised, man. All right? That light, which I'm going to get that. It's over. All right? But this is, let's go to Job, the 18th chapter. That's a beautiful chapter because that's what we living in. But this is Job 18. And all right, this is perfect. It says, Job 18:4, it says, he teareth himself, all right, in his anger, and they angry. They pissed off, man. They feel left out. Shall the earth be forsaken for thee? And the earth under your rulership has been destroyed, man. But they don't want to consider that. You have to ponder to their emotions. You got to care about what they feel like, man, or how they feel. You know, you can't speak up about the destruction to the earth. You can't speak out about the transatlantic slave trade. You can't speak out about the rape, robbing, and murder. You can't speak out about that. All right, you just got to worry about when we upset, you know, you got to come to our need. But it says, and shall the rock be removed out of his place? Yeah, the light, all right, of the wicked. What did it say? For Satan transformed himself into an angel of light. Yeah. The light of the wicked, you Edomites, shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. All right? The light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and his candles shall be put out with them. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast them down. This new world order that these elites are setting up, and the process of setting it up is not going as planned. Because why? Because Yahweh Ba'ashim Shah. Alright, he's stirring the pot. Alright. Salakia. He's stirring the pot, man. Okay? He's He's making it hard on you devils, man. Okay? But it says, real quick, pick up where I left off. For he shall, because the system, another thing, the system that was set up to benefit you is now working against you. Alright, this pit. But it says, for he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. The jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength, alright, shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. And this is what's prepared for you devils, man. Destruction, man. Alright, from this point on, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse for you. It shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His confidence shall be ruled out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors, which is going to be Yahushua. Alright? And this is why you have them so frustrated, because they're losing their power. You see? They're losing it. And this is another video.
By identifying her online, she told Stephen Fabian how she wrestled with that decision.
This dramatic video is at the heart of a family torn apart by the strife gripping the nation. A woman is punched in the face by a police officer after an...
So you got Eve, which we call Eve, the so-called black, Latino, Native American woman, especially, the Judite woman. But Eve just punched the shit out of this Edomite woman. Alright? See, Eve not playing with you no more. This is 2021. That time of these Karens out here. You had Jake mind their business and Karen. That's what they call the Edomite woman when she spaz out, for no reason. Because they losing their kingdom. But you got Karen, just come out of nowhere and find some sort of reason to, have you locked up or, put in jail. That's over with, man. This showing you that his strength is hunger bitten. Let me get that. Let me show you the video.
Tense confrontation in Washington, D.C. the night before the Capitol siege. The video was posted online where it was seen by the bloodied woman's daughter. She was stunned to realize it was her mom because she had no idea her mother was in Washington to attend President Trump's Stop the Steal rally. What went through your mind when you realized, hey, that's mom?
It was definitely very unsettling, especially because we do have very different views.
18-year-old Helena Duke of Boston says she got so incensed she outed her mom with this text. Hi, Mom. Remember the time you told me I shouldn't go to BLM protests because they could get violent? This you? Helena says she also outed her aunt and uncle, who were also at the rally. Helena doesn't know if her family went to the Capitol where the mayhem unfolded, but she knows that her mom is furious with her and says she was kicked out of the house after attending a Black Lives Matter rally in Boston. Her mom sent her a message after the tweet.
She told me that I was throwing away my life, that my life is ruined, and that my sister's life is on my hands.
We also spoke to Ashanti Smith, the private security officer who threw the punch. She says the crowd surrounded her and called her the N-word.
They were calling me saying that we all deserve to die.
That's how they feel, man. That's what they want. They want you Jakes dead, man. Okay, especially now that they losing power. You see, this Eve, she punched her, and the Edomite chick, she gushing, and she's still out. All right, if you did that to Edomite back in the the 50s and the 60s, you see, that was your ass, man. You would have been lynched. You would have been set on fire. All right, your whole family probably would have been lynched, or you would have got the book thrown. You would have been in jail for a good amount of time, man. All right. But that shows you what? They're losing power. That power is gone now. That's why they had the whole, Trump Make America Great. That stands for them, back when they was persecuting you jakes, man. When they were able to come and spit in your face, or you'll be walking to school and they'll just come up in like a group of 10, just push you around, probably tie you back to a pickup and drive off with you tied to the back of the pickup, that's over with. And real quick. So they've been losing power. That's their reaction, man. And like she said, they was calling her the N-word. All right. Well, she shouldn't even been there in the first place. Why are you in a rally with a bunch of Edom? But that's Eve, though. All right. A lot of you so-called Black, Latino, Native American women, you gonna really see, all right, the horns of Esau. You gonna see that he doesn't love you. He doesn't care about you. He was just using you to destroy our nation. But anyway, it's a separate, topic for another time. But now her own daughter is just, just owning her. But real quick. All right. This is Ecclesiasticus, what is this, 41:5. Says the children of sinners, which you Edomites are the children of sinners, are abominable children, and they that are conversing in the dwelling of the ungodly, the inheritance of sinners' children shall perish, and their posterity shall have a perpetual reproach. You see, man. All right. When you look at the Edomites in this generation, what do you think about? You think about the Edomites, the slave masters. What do you call them? What did Jay call them? The slave masters' children. You see? Because that's really all you are, the slave masters' children. Which you are your forefathers coming back. All right? But now they had to suffer, all right, a reproach from their forefathers, man. It says the children will complain of an ungodly father and mother because they shall be reproached for his sake. All right? Her mom was at the rally. All right? And I know her friends probably know her mom like that. So what'd she say? She got in on her, man. She outed her own mother. You see? Nor her mother just got punched in her face hard as shit. So that's what? A house divided against itself, literally. All right? We're going back. That's just showing you, all right? Your strength is hunger bit and the destruction is ready at your side, man. All right? Let me get Isaiah 14. All right, so this is Isaiah 14 and 4. It says that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon. All right, you modern Babylonians, Babylon the Great being America. All right, you Edomites now. The word for proverb is mashal. It says proverb, a parable, a byword. All right, a similitude, a parable. It says byword, okay? All right, now you're a byword, man. When people think of a mass shooter, all right, who they gonna think of? They're gonna think of the so-called white man. All right, when you think of terrorism, what did dude say? Now they call me a terrorist. You are a terrorist. You're a fugitive on the run. You've been on the run forever now. All right, but now it's sticking to you. Now how about Shema Shah got it sticking to you? It says against the king of Babylon, say how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased, and you're ceasing, man. All right. Your authority, which you say so, all right, nobody's taking into consideration anymore. Nobody's paying you any mind anymore. All right, this is why you spazzing out. It says the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, which is, if you're going to it, the mark of authority. All right, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruleth the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Let's go back to that video. All right.
People also playing because they support President Trump. And you got all these standing around doing nothing. 30 cops over here. Rest of them going everywhere. All these police everywhere. Because they were waiting for these people to get put off the plane because they support President Trump.
The feds have been busy.
All right. Let me read it again. He who smote the people in wrath with a continued struggle is all you do, okay, is smote people. All you do is oppress people. All right? He that ruled the nation in anger is persecuted and none hindereth, man. All right? Ain't nobody care in that airport. Don't nobody care anymore. You see, nobody care that you're going down and, the opioid crisis and, America, is crumbling. Don't nobody care. All right? The word for hindereth is kasak. It says to withhold, restrain, hold back, keep in check, refrain. All right, ain't checking for you. It's over. It says, I keep going. The whole earth is at rest. When it's quiet, they break forth into singing. And this is what's about to happen. All right. But it says, yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and it says, the Lebanon since thou art laid down, no fellows come up against us. Help from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, and all, and that goes into what? If you go down, the Lord say will bring thee down to hell. You know, though I'll go, let me keep going. I'm ready to butcher it. But it says, it stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth that have raised up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. These other nations, they're being raised up. All right, and they're now coming against you. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? And we could say that. Jake can say that, man. You know, Jake basically saying, now you see how it feels, man. All right, now you see how it feels. Okay, what Jake been going through, man. Jake gets shot down the street. There it is. You know, you treat me like a black person, same type of people who say white privilege doesn't exist. All right. They call me a fucking terrorist, that's what it says. Well, you are. All right. It says, but they didn't treat him like a black person. They didn't shoot him. This is your own people, you know. All right. Let me see. There it is. You treating me like a black person. At least now he knows how it feels. Well, you don't know how it feels yet. This is just the beginning. All right. This is just the beginning. Now you will become weak as we. Or thou become like unto us. Thy pomp, which is that prize brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. How thou fallen from heaven, all right, which is your rulership. You even might as well have been in your heaven. This is why you've been prospering. This is why you've been committing all these crimes, and it seems like you never get charged for it. It's because you in your heaven. But now your heaven, you're falling from it. All right, and that word Lucifer, which we got this the last time, but just anybody that's new. All right, what? It goes into Halal. Says Lucifer, a light bearer, shiny one. And what did the Lord say? It says of the king of Babylon and Satan. All right, who are the children of Satan? Esau. All right. What did it say in Job the 18th chapter? That the light of the wicked shall be put out. Your light is being put out, man. All right. It says, son of more, how thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation and the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, which is a low condition. All right. Basically slavery, to the sides of the pit. All right. The Lord is bringing you down into a lower state now. You see, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider these sayings. This the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms. And these people in that airport are looking like, what the hell is wrong with these people? You see, back in the day, or Edomite will spaz out or, have a breakdown. Everybody will go to their help. You see? That's what it says in Sirach the 13th chapter. It says, if a rich man speak, everybody heareth and see what he has to say. Quickly paraphrasing it. All right? Now you're being brought down low. Nobody cares, man. You're old news. That's what's happening. You're becoming old news. But it says, let me read it again. They that see shall narrowly look upon thee and consider these sayings. This the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and then destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All right. All the kings of the nations, even all of them shall lie in glory. Everyone his own house. You see? Everybody else, they doing their own thing. You just falling right now. Okay? Let me keep going. Because this is what we're coming into. It says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trod under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. All right, all these different land masses you destroyed. All right. spraying chemtrails, and you don't keep the land Sabbath. You just continually just use the land up, man. It's a scripture talk about the land Sabbath. You just continue, like oil, for instance. You just keep pumping more and more and more oil out of the earth, man. All right. Factories all over the place, polluting the air. All right. You destroy the land and slaying thy people. All right. Really, the Israelites, but you kill your own people. The opioid crisis. All right. You'll kill your own people just to get to Jake. This is how much of a devil you are. But it says, and the seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Let's get that word real quick. The word for renown. It says, kara, to call out, recite, read, cry out, proclaim, to call, cry, utter a loud sound, man. And that's what they do in that video, man. Be famous. If you look down here, guest, invite, mention, name, preach, proclaim. All right. So nobody's looking for you, man. You old news, like I said. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right, and these different parts where you filled up is being torn down, and eventually it's going to be destroyed via thermonuclear missiles, man. All right, but it says prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, because you are your forefathers coming back, man. All right. For I will rise up against him, said the Lord Yahweh Shemashah of hosts, and call from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, man. Said the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, man. This is what the Lord is doing, man. Okay? 2021 is going to be ugly for you Edomites. 2021 and up, however long this continues on, it's going to be hell for you Edomites. All the way up to your captivity. All right? Let me get this. So you should be living it up right now. But it don't look like you can even do that because everything's locked down. You see what I'm saying? Let me get this. Bear with me. All right, it's Job, the 18th chapter. That's a good chapter, man. That's what we living out right now. We living out Isaiah 14, Job 18, Job 20. A lot of things happen all at once. But this is Job 18 and 16. His roots shall be dried up. Salaki, I'm going into all these words because it's more powerful to actually go into it. All right. It's not popping up. Let me try it again. Oh, man. But it says, his roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off, man. All right, there we go. So the roots is sheresh. It says root of people involving firmness of permanence. All right. Bottom, deep hill. You see? And in Psalms, the 73rd chapter, it says, I was envious at the prosperity of the wicked, and their strength is firm. And it almost seemed as if this place would never go down because it seemed as if his strength was, at an all-time high. All right? That's going away. And your branch, we're going to get that real quick. The word for branch is harvesting, time of harvest, the time. All right? And we know the harvest, is the end of the world, But it says, his remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. He shall be driven from light into darkness. Once again, he shall be driven into light from into darkness. So he, marvel not, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Now you're being driven to darkness, man, and chased out of the world, man. Okay, you're gonna be chased out of the world, man. It's gonna be bad. Okay, if it's like this now for you Edomites, if it's a problem to be an Edomite now, okay, but you still call yourself white, how much more in the kingdom, man? All right, it's gonna be hell for you in the kingdom, because in the kingdom you ain't gonna be able to hide under European, British, German. You ain't gonna be able to hide in that. You're just gonna be known as an Edomite. All right, that's gonna stick to you. Just like today with Jake, black, you know, Mexican and Indian, all that. That's stuck to us in this society. A Edomite is gonna be stuck to you in the society to come, man. But it says he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings, man. All right, that's just like it said in Isaiah the 14th chapter. Because eventually, after your 1,000 years of captivity, you're gonna be done away with. You're gonna be the only nation of people that the Lord's gonna allow to be done away with. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before was affrighted, man. Okay? Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that have not knoweth, that have of him that knoweth not Yahweh. Alright? And you played the most high on planet earth. You never exalted the names Yahweh by Shema Shah. You went against those names. You blasphemed those names. You blasphemed the people. So this is the portion that you're gonna receive, man. Alright? It's gonna be like Lazarus and the rich man. Alright, so let's go to that's what it's gonna be like, man. Alright. Okay, it was Luke the 16th chapter. Alright, so this is Luke 16 and 19. There was a certain rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and fared sumptuously every day. And I'm not gonna break this. I could break this down, but that's gonna take some time. But there's a breakdown, but it's talking about, because this is Revelations 17 and 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones, pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Alright, and the woman is the 18th verse, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that's speaking of America, man. So, alright, so that's going into Esau, basically. Alright, so going back to the parable, it says, and in purple, which represents royalty, okay, riches, but it says, and fine linen and fair sumptuously every day. That's you Edomites. You've been living sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which Lazarus represents Israel, okay, which was laid at his gates full of sores. And what were those sores? What did the Lord tell us, saying in Jeremiah 30? Alright. This is Jeremiah 30 and 10. It says, therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. For I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah, to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations will I have scattered thee, yet I will not make a full end of thee. But I will correct thee in measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shah, thy bruise is incurable and thy wound is grievous. All right, and what is that wound and that bruise of? All right, it's of slavery. All right, buck breaking, Tuskegee, the Tuskegee experiment, Black Wall Street, okay, the random lynchings, okay, gator bait, cutting our woman's stomach open while they were pregnant, stumping the baby out. All right, separation of families. You was had the Jake man, the woman, the kids. You would send the kids to another master. You would send the man somewhere else, and you'll have your way with his wife, man. All right. The crack epidemic. Okay. You had when Jake the Southern Kingdom mainly, when they was brought over here on ships, you would have it to where these Edomites, if they couldn't feed, or they got sick, and they couldn't do anything about it, what they would do is they would discard the slaves. So they would just throw the slaves overboard. Just like if you picking fish and you picking the good fish from the bad fish, the bad fish you would just throw back in the sea. That's how they was doing Jake. They was throwing Jake overboard. All right. They would either drown or a shark would come and eat them up, man. All right. And some Jakes, to escape that, they just committed suicide by jumping in the water. You see? So those are all the Willie Lynch, look that up. Willie Lynch. That's just a few things I can name. Okay? Those are all wounds that's grievous onto our people. Slavery, period, is a wound. Us falling away from our heritage, that was a wound. How did we fall away from our heritage? Esau beat it out of us. He destroyed us. That was the curses said. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. All right? But it says, there is none to plead thy cause that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. Because our people talking about reparations from this devil. He's not going to give you reparations. Why? Because Yahweh Shema Shah is. And what's going to be our reparations? What's going to be one of our reparations? These heathens. And Esau is going to be one of them. All thy lovers have forgotten thee. They seek thee not. For I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for because of the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased. All right? So those lovers of these other nations, man, and they wounded us. The Lord allowed them to wound us because of our disobedience. So going back, Luke 16 and it's 21 says, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Because what does the curses say? We have to go to the heathen for one of all things. You see, you gotta work in order to get a house. Who you gotta go to? Esau. All right. You need a job. You gotta go to Esau, the other heathens. All right. When you want to buy food, you gotta get food. Who you gotta go to? You gotta go to these heathens, man. All right. It says, moreover, the dogs which came and licked his sores, man. These other nations, man. Because they were all what? They were in bed with Esau, man. Okay, real quick. Let's go to Revelations 18. No Salaki, it might be all over the place, but just to break it down, proof is Revelations 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, meaning they were in bed with them. They was hand in hand with each other. Okay? And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And how did America become rich? America became rich off the labor of you Israelites, man. And it still is. Okay? Jake is the #1 consumer. You're the only reason why this place really is up and about, man. Okay? If Jake was to stop, spending or investing their time in this place will automatically collapse. You see? And these heathen get rich. Esau has created a way where he's exploiting you tribes. All right? And he's created to where you tribes, when you want to set up your own business, what did he do? Black Wall Street, he blew it up. And if you do set up a business, he makes it hard for your business to stay afloat, And then you go out of business, and guess what? Moab, the so-called Chinese, or Ishmael, the so-called Arab, Ammon, the so-called Jap, Amalek, the so-called Jewish people. All right, what they do? They set up shop in your communities, and you have to go to them, all right, to buy what you need in order to maintain day by day. And then what? That money that you are investing in them is not going back to your community. It's going to them. They getting rich. You see? This is why you have a such thing called gentrification. All right? But they basically profited off of Jake being ignorant and you being under the curses, man. All right? So these other nations, they not exempt from what's coming either. Esau he's gonna get the brunt of it because he did the worst. So going back, Luke 22, and it says, and it came to pass that the beggar died. So, Lazarus died, but what does the scripture say? We're dead in Yahushua. We're dead to this world. All right, we became new creatures through the word and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. And in hell, which is a low condition, not talking about actual, hell, like this world teaches, it's a lower state. And in hell, he lift up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abram afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom. Basically, what you're seeing now. All right, Esau is being brought low, and what? As Esau goes down, who's rising up? Yasharallah, Israel. We are rising up. We coming into power. All right, this is where we in now. But wait until we actually in the kingdom, and they actually in captivity. This is what's going to happen. It says, and he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue. For I am tormented in this flame. I'm catching hell, basically. You see? This is hell for us, man. All right? But Abram said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, right? When you were in your kingdom. All right? All the good things you had, the cars, the mansions, all these jobs that you had, you didn't have to touch a thing, but you were making the most money of all your employees, which was mostly Jake. All right? You controlled the media. You were the face, of glory. All right? It says, and likewise Lazarus evil things. Look at these black folks. Look at their communities. They're killing each other. The drugs in their communities. All right? Look at the housing that they live in. Is rat infested. Holes in the floor. They live paycheck to paycheck. They're the first fired, last hired. They don't have their own businesses, their communities, which was all set up in this system. All right? That's what you did. But now he is comforted and thou art tormented. And this is what we're coming. This word is the comforter. But then we're coming into our actual comfort, man. We're coming into our kingdom. All right, well, we're going to be able to do, what we like, man. Jake can't be Jake in this society, man. Because Esau, he's the opposition of us. He's the opposite of us. All right? But now we come into our kingdom. And our kingdom means what? It's going to be his hell. His kingdom is our hell. And our kingdom is going to be his hell, man. You see, you're not going to be able to be, a sodomite in our kingdom. All right? Because the law, statutes, and commandments are going to go out, full force, man. You ain't going to be able to commit adultery in our kingdom. All right? A woman ain't going to be able to be a whore in our kingdom. You see, you ain't going to have GMO food in our kingdom. You're not going to be able to worship Satan or other false deities in our kingdom. And that's going to be hell for Esau. You see? Esau going to be deprived, man. Esau going to be the new black person. You heathens as well, but Esau is going to be the new black person. Because that's really what he's the real black person. You want to bring up bywords, which he's Esau, but I'm just saying, how Esau labeled us that, all right? He's the real black person, but he's an Edomite, all right? That's the worst thing you could call, them is Esau, Edom, all right? But Esau, he's going to be the new window shopper. How Jake, doing Uber or Lyft, and you driving an Edomite, and he live in a gated community with mansions all over the place. Probably got a golf field in the back, a pool, That's Jake window shopping. Jake wishing they had all that, That's how the Edomites gonna be real soon. They're gonna be seeing they're gonna be seeing the different plans that we inhabit, all the wives that we got, all our kids, playing in the streets like it says in the book of Zechariah. They're gonna be seeing everything we get that the Lord gonna bless us with, and they're gonna want in on it. But guess what? Like it says in 2nd Ezra 2, the second chapter, I believe it's the 24th or 26th, probably the 27th verse, how the heathen shall envy thee, but they shall be able to do nothing against thee. That's what he's gonna be like. All right? He's going to be through in our kingdom. And then it's going to be the 1,000 years of building up our society. And once that's over with, you're going to be annihilated. And beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which will pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that will come from thence. Okay? So that's the point, man. You gonna catch up, man. You didn't show any mercy to us on this side, so you won't be shown mercy, like it says in the book of James. Alright? So, call hello, Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Shah. However, to that, this was edifying. Baba Kasha, Abba Pabo, Abba Pabo, Abba Ha'ayapa, Abba Ha'ayapa. Shalom to the elect. And to the few Akwaf that do this and learn. Shalom, Hawad, Haya, La Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Shah. Shalom.